It's a little bit heavier than what we got at home.
Between 40,000 and 100,000 bees.
They will fly at about 2,900 feet per second.
I feel like I actually learned something today.
Hello everyone, Kevin Kalb here with Live to Farm with our good friend Donnie Bester down here in South Africa.
Well, welcome here to South Africa, Kevin. We're here at the Africa AgTech Expo. It's a platform for the whole of Africa, and it gives insight into the technologies that are currently available for producers, and it's just a good networking place to have.
Really not much difference in farming practices from the United States to South Africa. The people are probably nicer, except for Donnie.
I try my best, yeah, but remember, you're the one speaking funny over here.
Well, that's true. That is a problem I don't understand. This is top-notch show. We're here at the Case IH booth. There's really no difference between the tractors here and home. The FS Connect is just like ours. Donnie, what do you see here? You was at the States. Do you see much difference?
You get the same models like the ones that you get in the States. I think we only pay a bit more for them, but at least the color red is still red when it comes down here, so there's no color changing going over the equator. I personally run a lot of red equipment, really happy with it, and also really good service. I think like the same good service you're getting out of the States.
Not only do they like to sell the equipment, but their first priority seems to be service. That's why we love our Case at home, and it seems like they care about it the same at the United States as what they do over in South Africa.
I take my hat off to the Case dealerships over here. They've got really good guys giving us service. Here in South Africa, we want to go to higher yields, but everybody has to start low somewhere. So that's why we got Kevin here, so that we can start at the low end, and then probably next year we'll maybe get someone that actually knows how to grow corn, and we'll take it from there.
Now you got to start somewhere. That's the first way to learn. Follow the guy that makes all the mistakes. So I've done a lot of that.
I always say, if you want to learn something, you learn it from the best, and I think that's why we've got Kevin here, and we really appreciate you for sharing some knowledge.
That's what's pretty cool about being down here. Everybody wants to learn to try to get better. That's neat as heck. We'll head over there.
Let's go that side.
I'm sitting here with the Case IH, which has always been a huge success part of our farm. We run the new AFS Connect, the 8250 Combine Connect. My favorite thing in the Case lineup is actually their 2150 planters. Case is 100% biggest thing behind our success. Our theory is you're only as good as what you're planting. I'll put this stuff up against anybody all day, every day. And honestly, I really do believe it'll do the same thing for you.
Please help me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming Kevin Kalb. Donnie Bester, please give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Learning from Donnie here on soybeans, we switched that. We used to plant all of our corn first, and then get down planting our corn, then we'd plant our soybeans. Now we're kind of opposite. We plant all of our soybeans first and plant our corn second.
The way they are fertilizing in the US as opposed to what we have here, I think for South Africa, yeah, that's going to be the next frontier. That's like the missing link.
Give them a big round of applause, please. Donnie Bester, give them that tour that they will never forget.
On the first day of the AET conference, I was privileged to open the panel discussion with world-class farmers, Kevin Kalb, Brooks Cardinal, and Donnie Bester. These are farmers that lead the way, lead the farming technology, the world of sustainable production. Encouraging to know that on the South African, in our context, technology-wise, we have full access, but certainly some work that we can do on the biological side, seed treatment side, and obviously looking forward to some latest technology, especially in terms of soybeans with seed technology and seed quality.
Jacques here from Case IH, South Africa. We are live here at the AIT 2023 show here in Pretoria, and what an absolutely fabulous day we had down here. We had Kevin Kalb, the American top farmer on corn, hosting here down the day here with us, and together with Dani Bester, who is our own South Africa king of soybeans and drylands. And I think the idea here today was to sit and collaborate with each other to find out exactly what are you guys doing overseas differently that we are doing, and to share some thoughts and to find out what can we possibly do in South Africa differently to improve our yields. Absolutely a pleasure having you down here in South Africa. And how did you get to being the king of corn, and what do we need to change in our society?
So first thing I want to say, thank you for having us. There's no doubt we could not have the success that we have without my wife, Shauna, and not just her, my kids. Pretty blessed with a good family.
It's a strong team.
Sean, as a wife and a mother and a woman who's very involved in the Kalb operation, you're integral to how things work, and I see
I get all the junky jobs.
Initially in the beginning of this process where you were talking about the television series, had to make a decision on what was best for your family, and sometimes putting your life out there on the screen and wanting that to be authentic, you have to sort of balance wanting to protect your family, but you're also very open, salt of the earth people. What you see is what you get. Did you have any worries about saying, well, we want to communicate a message, but we also want to some degree remain private, or was that not a concern?
There is no privacy being married to Kevin Kalb. I mean, honestly, this man will stop and talk to anybody. But being on the show, it doesn't bother me to open up my life to anybody, because I think it's important. People need to know where food comes from. People need to know that it's a family operation. What I love about the family farm is that I get to take my kids with me to work. And that, to me, is 100% worthwhile. And I wish more people could get to feel that.
Thank you so much for taking 2 weeks out of what we know is a high-pressure environment to come and spend it with us, to share your knowledge, to share your stories, and to share your authenticity.
Hi guys, my name is Johan Pastorius. Welcome on my farm Leeuwfontein here in Africa.
And what does that mean in English?
It means Lion's Fountain. When my granddad first came here more than 100 years ago, when he bought the farm, there were still some lions on here. These are some of the males that we used. This one is getting backed as we speak. His name is Tau. It's an African name that means lion. Then we have Kroonbar. He's a quarter horse, also really young. And then on the back here is the old man Licorice. He just hangs back. If you want to see people go bankrupt, you give them a horse for free.
No kidding. That's what Kevin said. It's just the animal that's useless.
Now you buy this horse back every year. We're in feed and upkeep. So there's a lion farm up close here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then so
Really?
if there's a horse that dies, he normally takes it. So on the farm we do mainly corn and soybeans, and then we have
White corn and yellow
and
corn.
we do white corn and
Yes.
yellow corn. We have a market for the white corn, so and then also we have a bit of cactus plant, or prickly pear as we call it, and we have honeybees. One of my favorite memories is, so my granddad and grandma stayed on this farm. I used to stay here a lot, and the garden where they grew strawberries and figs and all kinds of fruit, and it was like a healthy drive-through. Whenever you needed some peaches or pears or apples, anything, you just went to that place and you can eat whatever you want. It's a lot of family memories, and I think that's one of the more important things in farming is family farming.
It's just quality time with your family.
One of the oldest memories I have is for me and my granddad driving around with the truck in the fields, checking out the corn. But yeah, I love it on the farm. It's become a great passion. I won't leave here for nothing. It was great having you here.
Cannot wait to come back. Actually, can't wait for you to come back to the U.S.
We'll come back to visit you in the US as well. That will be no problem. We are here just outside of Nigel in Gauteng, South Africa. We like to have diversity of insects on the farm, and the most important ones are bees. It gives us a way of seeing how healthy the environment is. If the bees start dying or there's something wrong, we'll definitely pick it up in the bees.
So tell me some of the interesting facts about your bees.
The queen bee, if she starts getting old, they will lay eggs. So they'll grow a new queen bee, and then when those hatch, the new queen bee will go out to get fertilized by different swarms, and then she'll come back, and then the old queen bee will leave with half of the hive. She will start a new hive on her own, and the new queen bee will stay and continue the hive that was left for her with some of the soldier bees. When they decide to grow a new queen bee, they just change the nutrition to queen jelly, and those specific larvae will get queen jelly, and that will make the difference in being a normal bee or a queen bee, which can stay alive for about 4 to 7 years. A normal bee will have about 60 days of living.
So what kind of species do you have here?
It's just the African honeybee. We keep them in concrete nests. In the olden days, we used wooden hives. We also have honey badgers that try and get into the hives. And then we have vandalism and theft.
So when you say theft, they just come in and steal like
there's
all
guys
your
that
honey
come
and
and then steal all the honey, and they make a beer. They just come in night, open the hives, take out all the honey, and then most of the hive gets killed off. Because if the queen bee dies suddenly, the rest of the hive dissolves. She gives off a pheromone that keeps them together and keeps them working, keeps them feeding the larvae. So if that stops suddenly, like not having a boss to tell them what to do anymore.
yeah, I do that to Kevin all the time too. I've got a certain
Kevin
hormone
needs that.
So what do you actually do with the honey then?
So we make honey and mead. It's kind of a wine that you make from the honey. Fermented. I'll have some at home and I'll have you taste them.
How many actually bees are in one hive?
Between 40,000 and 100,000 bees. It depends on how big the hives get. So we keep on harvesting the honey. Otherwise, they'll run out of space inside the hive. This is one of the more dangerous species of bees. They can be quite aggressive. So if you get too close and they start feeling uncomfortable, well, they will give you a warning, bump you once or twice, and then if you don't back off, they will become more aggressive and probably sting you if you start swapping them. And
They feel threatened.
yeah, they feel threatened. They will go into attack mode, and if one goes into attack mode, she gives off a pheromone, and all of them will go into attack mode. And they will, if you're allergic, they will kill you. With the African bees, you always keep on your suit. They'll sting you and nothing might happen, but then just someday, because of some different pollen that they were collecting, the proteins are different in the stinger with the poison in it, and it will trigger an allergic reaction. So you can be not allergic to them for years, and then just all of a sudden you will get an allergic reaction of a stinger, and then you'll always be allergic. So I'm allergic. I don't work with them. I have a couple of guys that work for me that does everything. Like the one just at the back is really, those are a bunch of angry ladies. So you know, all of them are female.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Oh,
so
I did not know that.
In breeding season, there will be male bee drones. They call them drones. That's all they do is mate with the queen, and then they die off. The queen goes back to her original hive, and then she starts laying larvae eggs. I do enjoy them. It's a kind of a therapeutic.
I feel like I actually learned something today.
I hope so.
Yeah. So where Kevin's the king of corn and Donnie is the king of the beans, you're the king of the bees.
Look, I still think I'm the king of white corn, because neither of you guys don't have no about white corn, and I'm the only one. Donnie has given up. Kevin's never done it. You've never done it. So I'll take my title as white corn king.
White corn king.
Yeah.
For Live to Farm. We are in South Africa. Had a tremendous day. We're on like day 5. Being down here, enjoying it. The weather is beautiful. Sean went with Johan and Dieter. Went to look at some honeybees, all the white corn. Got to see some white corn.
And some horses.
Now to finish off the day, we're out here shooting some guns. Donnie was shooting, and if you look, that was a green gun. and the GPS was not working because he was not hitting the target. So we had to scratch out with black tape, and I bet you it'll be a bullseye now.
So thanks, Kevin. Yeah. And so yeah, this is my friend Johan. He's just special. That's my brother Arno. He's afraid to shave. That's my dad, the guy with all the experience. He's actually like the better shot, I think, between all of us.
And the better farmer.
And the better farmer.
Better person.
And then that's my other friend Stefan, also known him for lots of years, also one of my big friends. And yeah, so and then if you look to the front, 25 yards, Kevin, that's yours to aim at.
That's right.
And then we real men, we're going to start out there at 1,000 yards over there. So just to make it fair, you know, you're on the other side of the equator, and I know you're getting old.
You know, actually the bullet spins backwards
They
here.
turn the other way around, yeah. Especially when it comes to shooting firearms, we always practice safety. That's the number one priority when we're out here on the farm range. All of us will be safe today.
From what I've seen on Donnie shooting out in the middle by the target, you'll be pretty safe.
Yeah. quite safe. This is what the real men shoot with.
That looks like a damn BB gun.
This is chambered in a BB gun, 338 BBs. Freedom poles. This is what we use when we hunt some South African squirrels. You know, they can be tough sometimes, but yeah.
How heavy is that?
The weight to that.
Yeah,
Just
that's
curious.
a little bit heavier than what we got at home.
Here, I just want to hold it. I'm not going to
drop
shoot
it.
it. Holy, that's heavier than my turkeys, Donnie. Woo!
Kevin, that's how you shoot at steel.
But I could throw a rock that far.
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. That was 200 meters.
That's a long ways down there, bub. So this is gonna be the moneymaker right here.
That's it, yeah. That's it.
Oh my!
I think it went left.
I don't want you to think.
Well,
That's like guessing. Do you guess when you grow corn?
Sometimes.
all right, you missed the forward.
That's it. That's honesty.
All right.
That counts as a hit.
All right. South African style. Urgh. You hit it?
So now, this is a 338 Savage single action Lapua Magnum. This spits 300 grain Burger hybrid VLB tacticals. They will fly at about 2,900 feet per second. Stefan and I, we actually grew up together. We went to the agricultural college together in Potchefstroom. We help each other out with the farming practices. We just understand each other.
We just got done with our shooting. It's amazing. I think everybody hit the target. Some took more than one shot. I took 3. Jared took 1 or 2. But the grand winner is Poppy. I mean, one-shot wonder. That's what we're going to call him. But we was 1,000 yards or meters. 1,000 meters.
Yeah.
Meters. Almost 3,300 feet.
You should try adapting to the metric system. It's way easier.
So I will say, being here, it is very, very hard for conversions for US to metric system, and we're trying to convince them to come over to the dark side. Yes, can't say that I was kind of hoping a couple people wouldn't hit the target.
Kevin.
Unfortunately, Donnie hit.
But I'm still going to give you $10 to get some tissues.
For what?
crying.
For what? Now, if I'm thinking right, it only took me 3 shots, and I was the first one with that gun to hit the target. Is that not right?
Yeah.
All right, give him his money
So
back.
I'm gonna give you the money back because there was like half the box gone before we got to shoot. I will say, Donnie, even though he can't shoot worth a crap, he can talk a lot of crap.
Well, I learned from the best.
He learns from the best. No, but me and Donnie earlier today, we looked at quite a few fields. It was pretty neat to see the difference in the population. It was some of the first 36-inch corn I got to see, which is interesting. And then we went and looked at some beans. And how late of maturity beans were we looking at?
We saw some 5.1s was the shortest, and 5.7s were the longest ones, and then the one that my dad brought this afternoon was 6.4.
When we're talking about maturity of soybeans, we plant like a group 3.6 to a 4.3, 4.4 maturity, and you guys are planting over a full group and a half later soybeans than we are. That's kind of amazing, and honest to God, they were some of the biggest beans I've ever seen in my life. There's a reason why he's the soybean king, and kind of proved it by showing off a little bit by seeing some of the size of those beans, because it was quite impressive today.